Hi people, can everybody hear me? Sorry. Okay, hold on. I hope everybody can hear me. Oh, hello guys, how you guys doing? I'm gonna be starting in like a minute just to have more people join up really quick, but this is gonna be a very quick tutorial. It takes as much time as it takes to melt chocolate and then to put it in the fridge and for it to come out cold. So it's going to be a very short video, but we're going to have a bunch of stuff to look at. In fact, while we're waiting, I'll show you some holograms. Hold on. Let me entertain you by showing you some very cool holograms. So National 3D Day is coming up in 2 days, and I'm going to be having a party that is going to be a 3D party. And I'm going to have a bunch of stuff on display from my own personal collection. And here is one of them. This is a hologram by a holographic artist, by a holographer called August Muth. He's a very, very experienced, one of the most well-known of the holographers from like the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. This is an older piece of his. You could tell that it's an August Muth by the ground glass edge, the very ornate ground glass. That's a signature piece of a signature move that he makes. He has very ornate ground glass laminates. This is a piece of film that's laminated in a glass. So we will be looking at holograms while the chocolate is going to be cooling, but let's get things started right now. So let me just put this over here. Hold on, sorry guys. All right, so hello, welcome to Dollar Store Stereography number 7. This is a special episode that I am making impromptu because I just found out how to make holographic chocolate like yesterday. So I'm very excited to go and make this and share this with you guys. The first thing you're going to need is, of course, chocolate, and I use regular chocolate chips from the grocery store. And the second piece of the second material that you need is something called holographic diffraction grating. Now this might be a little bit more unusual for people to go and look up. Diffraction grating basically diffracts light like a prism, and this is basically a film. I have a piece of film in here, and actually I have a piece right here that I can show you. So this is what it looks like when it comes rolled up in a tube. You keep it protected. This is the first time I'm ever actually touching diffraction grating with my hands, because like I've always, you don't want to get fingerprints on it. It's very susceptible to be marred, and like, oily fingerprints are a hologram's worst enemy in most cases. But this diffraction grating is basically mechanically made by doing micro slits into a piece of acetate or mylar. And so if you could see this starburst effect that's happening, that's basically because it is diffracting light in such a way that first of all, it is holographic. It actually does have fringing patterns on it that make this a three-dimensional type of a projection of light. But at the same time, oh my god, I just forgot what my point was. Either way, I'm going to be selling this on my website. I'm going to be also putting links up to like where you can get it on Amazon if you want to buy more, if you want to buy less, like whatever. It's something that most people don't usually purchase, but I just want to make sure that everybody watches. I put another video up that's like a PSA announcement of what type of grating to use, because you never want to use something that's been chemically processed, because the chemicals that you use in creating holograms are very, very toxic. They can kill you. You don't ever want to get dichromate poisoning. But just so everybody can see when you join right now, everybody who's joining, this is diffraction grating, and this is basically the key to making holographic chocolate. what we're going to be doing is melting the chocolate, pressing this grating on to the chocolate, and as it cools, we're going to put it in the fridge, and when I put it in the fridge, that's when I'm going to show you guys some holograms, stuff like that. But basically what's going to happen is it's very much like putting Play-Doh into a mold. So what you're going to be doing is pressing the grating onto the chocolate, and it's on a microscopic level, of course, but basically you're just making an impression from the grating, from the holographic grating, onto the chocolate, and it keeps that impression the same way that a piece of Play-Doh into a mold would also hold its shape. That being said, I was trying to make some ahead of time for a party that I'm going to be having on Tuesday, and I left some out on the counter, and because my apartment is warm, the chocolate melted, and the holographic element to the chocolate disappeared when it melted. So this is something that, just keep in mind, maybe it's something to make on the spot at the moment. If you have kids, this is a great project. It's a lot of fun. I've been eating and making hologram chocolate all day, but it doesn't travel well unless you want to like put ice packs or something in like with it. But either way, let me make sure. Let's watch how this is made. So first of all, you're gonna take some chocolate chips or whatever chocolate that you want to be using, and I'm just gonna melt this on a stove. I'm sure there are better ways to make chocolate. I was using a double boiler method before, which was like even a little bit overkill. I just want to melt the chocolate so that it becomes not just beyond like a liquid, and you want it to be a little bit pliable. But we're just melting chocolate. This is a very simple tutorial, guys, but the results are spectacular, of course. So I'm just melting chocolate, blah, 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 blah. Now then, I have done this where I put the diffraction grating on a hot piece of chocolate. I have waited for it to be cooled down to room temperature, and I find that cooling it down to room temperature first is a little bit better, because when you put it in the refrigerator, it actually pulls away. The chocolate will shrink a little bit, and the diffraction grating will pull away, and so you'll get areas where there is no hologram on it, and that's the opposite of what you're going for. So I have right here just a piece of wax paper that I have folded over. Like, you can get wax paper in your store, whatever grocery store, and I'm reusing a piece that I had put out before, and I'm just going to pour the chocolate on here, and I'm going to let this cool down a second. So, and I'll spread it out like a little nicer. So what we're going to do is basically exactly what I showed you before with the Play-Doh. We're just going to be pressing the holographic diffraction grating onto the chocolate, and I'm going to let it cool down for a second, because as I said right before, when you put it into the refrigerator, it will actually like kind of shrink, and then like the grating will come off and separate. Now then, this is a grating that I've been using all day long and yesterday as well, and I've been able to reuse it. I've cleaned it up in a little bit of water. Sometimes when you clean anything with first of all, as far as holograms go and everything like that, you never want to add water to a hologram ever. But in the case of like this diffraction grating, it's actually fine, because this is a mechanically produced diffraction grating. So as long as you have water that you're washing it with that has no sediments in it, and if you're using tap water, that's where you're going to get a problem. So if you use distilled water to clean your gratings, I think you're going to be fine, and you're going to be able to reuse these. Now then, the grating has a shiny side to it, and a side that actually has the slits on it that has been etched in, basically. So the way to do that is either feel with your hand, or you can like run your fingernail over it, and there's like a little, I don't know if you can hear it. You can't really hear it, but you can kind of feel it with your fingernail that there's a little edge to it. So you have to have the shiny side facing up, the rough side or the side with the grating on it to contact the chocolate. That's the part that we're going to be making holographic chocolate. So let me just shove that right there, and let me just make sure 100%. I actually don't know. So you know something? Hold on. I think this is the side with the grating on it. So I'm going to put this right here like that, and I'm just going to press it in with my hand, right? and I let the chocolate cool down a little bit. And I'm actually leaving this, that it's pulling up away from the chocolate because I have to peel it off afterwards. And I've been noticing every time that I've been trying to peel it off when I have it completely covered all over the chocolate, I keep on sticking my finger on the part that has the hologram on it. And as soon as you touch it, it ruins the hologram. And you just have a big fingerprint in the middle of your like rainbow hologram. And it's like, whatever. So I'm going to do that piece. And I'm going to also cut a piece off of this grating just to make sure that I am using the right side on this. Hold on. Okay, I think this is the side with the grating on it. Yes, okay. So this I could already hear with my ears. I'm just cutting a little sliver off because that's all I really need to do this. And again, I'm just placing it onto the chocolate. So you're just gonna go smush and just smush it in. Now then, make sure that it really contacts the chocolate. And if it gets on top of it, it's fine. Nothing's gonna happen. You'll just get chocolate on stuff, but basically, leave it out for a minute before you put it in the refrigerator because, as I said before, the difference in temperature is just going to make the chocolate shrink, and it's going to separate off the diffraction grating. This is a very stiff piece of plastic, actually, when it comes down to it. So it actually will just like separate off the chocolate. But just because of time, I'm going to just, woo! Sorry, oh my god, I'm such a moron. Oh my god. Sorry guys, hold on, my tripod just fell. Technical difficulties, I'm sorry. Okay, hold on 1 minute. I'm gonna put this in the fridge, I'll be right back. Like, literally. So, as you saw, that was the whole entire, that's the whole entire tutorial, guys. That's the whole entire tutorial. The rest of the tutorial, we're just going to be looking at holograms as this cools. So I turned off the lights in my kitchen so I could show you some very special holograms that I have. These are going to be on display at my party on National 3D Day. And I darkened the room. This is what's called a transmission hologram. Let me just see if I can do this. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. Okay, can you guys see this? I'm gonna try to... There it is. Okay, this is a hologram by an artist named Lon Moore. He was a holographer. I'm going to actually... Hold on. How do I do this best? Now, we're only showing this right now because the holographic chocolate is cooling in the fridge. Oh, here we go. Okay. Holograms are very difficult to show on video, on screen, on your phone. There we are. Okay. So this is a hologram by an artist called Lon Moore, and it's called Desert Mirage. And if I can actually get this to like be where I want it to be, there we go. It's a scene of a desert. This is a transmission hologram. This is what's called a rainbow transmission hologram. And this is from 1981, I believe. I'll show you a couple of more, because it's not going to take that long for this to cool. These are a set of stickers that I got. And when you get foil sticker holograms like this, these are very much holograms. There's nothing not holographic about these. And this is actually a set that a friend of mine, a holographer friend of mine named Bob Hess, he mailed these to me because these were the stickers that I had when I was a child that I thought were magical and got me into holography. And, well, not that they got me into holography, but I always remembered them, and these are my first hologram stickers. Here are some more stickers. These are this is like a manufactured one of an American eagle. I don't know if you could see that. There we go. I don't know if you could see these guys, but, oh yes, I think you can. And let's see how close I could get these to the phone. There we go. This is a nice set. And these are just stickers. I think these are of the American banknote eagle, but I'm not quite sure. And let's see, what else do I have? I don't want to keep those there. Hold on. 1 second, guys. These are really cool that I have. This is from a a game from from Atari that was supposed to be for the world's first holographic video game system that was never produced. It was actually produced, but it was never released to the public for retail sale. And it was supposed to be a game that was like an LED game, and these were holographic cartridges. There were a set of, I believe, 8 or 9 games. This one is for the game Asteroids, and I don't know if you could see this, but here we go. This would have been the kill screen, where you're in a spaceship and an asteroid is actually like coming to crash into your spaceship. And this was like a gameplay for the screen. And this is what's called a 2-channel hologram. See how there's 2 different holograms in here? One, and that's the other one. So that just, that's a 2-channel hologram. They're basically produced by, depending on the angle of light. Holograms are amazing. It's an amazing medium. If you want to learn more about holography, I have a website. My website is up now. It's called PARALLAX-SHIFT.com. This, by the way, is for a video game called Superman, and that's Superman. And apparently that's like one of like Godzilla's friends. I forget which guy it is. And the other scene is actually New York City. Oh, hold on. I have the light in there. That's actually supposed to be New York City, and I think the gameplay on this one was that you would fly around and dragons would come out of the bottom part of the screen and fly around New York, and Superman had to like go and punch the dragons. I don't get it, but either way. So those are just some holograms that I have in my collection that I'm going to be showing. And let's see if that chocolate is done. Hold on. Let me go in the fridge. It's not hard yet. Okay, I'm going to show you some more holograms to kill the time. This is another hologram. This is a novelty type of hologram that was sold in the 70s or the early 80s. This is in an ashtray. So this was like made for like decorative use. And it's like a bunch of items that you would normally just like throw in a candy dish or an ashtray like that would be in your house. This is by a holographer named Richard Rallison. And he would make, I have a lot of holographic pendants from him. This is what's called a DCG hologram, which is a dichromate gelatin hologram. And that's the type of hologram that you can never, ever, ever, ever use to make holographic chocolate. That's the one that would give you dichromate poisoning, and it wouldn't be good at all. I'm sorry that I don't have any chocolate holographic chocolate already made in the fridge. As I said, I left some out on my counter thinking that it would be okay, and they melted and the hologram disappeared from it. That's what happens. It's basically an interference pattern, like a fringe pattern. The only way I could describe it very easily would be like something like a moire. This is actually a glass tile that I have. This is made out of this is from a Czechoslovakian factory. And I believe this is called magic tile. And what this is right now is a moire pattern. Basically, there's a lined pattern on the back. I don't know if you could see that. And the pattern in the front is actually combed glass, but it's in such a way that, like, you know, it's got a little wobble to it. And wherever the wobble is, that's where the moire pattern happens. Holograms aren't exactly like that, but this is a good illustration of maybe what interference would be, or at least a fringe for a moire pattern. And these are very nice. I do have these in my store for sale. I don't know if I have them priced yet, but they're a little pricier because they're fine Czechoslovakian glass. So this, by the way, is not a hologram. This is basically what would be, if you're terming it and categorizing it in the terms of what sort of 3D format this would be, it really wouldn't even be a 3D format, even though it's doing this like weird animation, like super cool pattern. It's not really stereoscopic, but what it is close to what would be called a barrier fence, which is basically a bunch of slits, like a fence pattern. And when you see something else through it, that's when you get that moiraying pattern, that moire effect. And I hope my refrigerator starts cooling that off again. I'm going to show you this Atari hologram again because it's super cool. Oh, I think it's better if I just stand in front of it. There you go. That's a great shot. So these are super rare holograms. This game, this specifically, you could see right there in the bottom, it says Atari 1981. even though it's backwards, because I have this on, there you go, you can see that again, and it actually says it in the corner, the guy who labeled it like, you know, Atari, this was made at the Holoptics lab in Atari, when Atari had a holography lab back in the 80s, back in 1981, or the late 70s, early 80s, and so this is for the game Superman, and as you see, Superman is punching a dragon. What? And then this is a 2-channel hologram. By the way, this is a foil hologram. This is a silver foil hologram, and this is optically printed, and that was a technique that was invented by Steve, oh my god, how did I just forget his name? Benson? Oh my god, somebody's gonna kill me. But, Benton, Steve Benton. And he was the man who invented the optical printing that made foil holograms. That's how they were invented. And he was a professor at MIT. And there's a whole bunch of information on his work on my website. And as you can see, holograms are great. They're just so detailed. They have the most amount of information that you could ever. They have the highest resolutions. This is for the game Asteroids. There we go. That's a nice shot. So this is the crash screen for the game Asteroids, when you would get, you know, the asteroid crashed into your spaceship, and this would be the playing field screen. And I think what happened was that like little LEDs would light up behind the holograms, and you would kind of like guide your way around them like that. So these are very nice. And let's see, what else can I show you? I didn't bring that much more. Do you want to see these again? Hold on. I didn't bring that many in with me. Of course, I have a lot more in my other room, but I don't want to leave you guys hanging. Let's go check on the chocolate again. Hold on. Let's see if that is done. It's not quite done yet, but let me see if it's actually going to peel up. Hold on. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh no, that's not done at all. So you really need your chocolate to be very, very solid and hard for it to, for the grading pattern to be solidified and really, just kind of frozen in there. And let's look at this one again. This one again, I said, is by August Muth. I think this is called a kipu. This is like a Native American type of like a vision quest type of thing, or something something very spiritual and religious, where you would go and you would basically kind of like have like a very internal discovery by spending some time alone with yourself, and you would go down a hole, I believe, and that's the ladder that you would climb down, and I guess the maze on the bottom. I actually don't know the significance of the maze on the bottom. If anybody knows anything about this hologram that they can share with me, I would love to know. But if you could see here also, you see that very glittery type of pattern. This is basically something that exists in holography that doesn't exist in stereophotography. That's using a pseudoscopic side of a stereoscopic image, and this ladder would be an orthoscopic side. Whenever you have any terms in holography, they really play down the pseudoscopic side, and it's really like considered a bad word. And in other forms of three-dimensional artwork, like holography, pseudoscopy is basically just the opposite of orthoscopic, and it is not a bad word. I'm going to go and get a couple more holograms to show you really quickly. I'll be right back. So, and I mean really quickly. So hold on 1 second, guys, because this chocolate is taking way longer in my fridge than I thought. Sorry about that. So while you're waiting, while we're waiting for the chocolate to cool, sorry that I don't have another piece of chocolate ready. It melted on my counter, my bad. Oops. So this is another piece by August Muth. This was a Christmas ornament that was apparently given out from Friedman Jewelers in 2004. So this is a quite a recent piece as far as holograms go. And I guess this was for a customer satisfaction type of thing. I'm going to show you some very common DCG pendants. These are the type of items that I sell in the store, although I don't sell these particular ones because these are some of my favorites, and I only had 3 of these, so I gave one to my boyfriend's father. I have one, and I have one extra just in case. This is a piece by Richard Rallison, and this is the clockwork, the inside watch parts, the clock making parts for watches. And let's see if I can actually zoom in on that with it being clear. I don't know if you could, is that in focus? I hope that's in focus. Either way, you could see that a hologram is a 3-dimensional image. That's basically, I like to say that it's a recording of an impression of light, is the best way I could describe it. And there are much more experienced holographers that I hope that if you go on my website, you will go on their websites and find out more about them and about holography in general. This is a piece that is a coin. This is a Walking Liberty coin. Here we go. Let's see. That's a Walking Liberty coin. And as you can see, this is a good idea to show you the orthoscopic and the pseudoscopic side. This is something that is prevalent in holography, but not very many other forms of stereography, is that you could see the orthoscopic and the pseudoscopic side of any stereoscopic 3-dimensional image. And I don't know, one of them should be reversed and one of them should be the opposite of reversed. So, all right. I don't know what else to do besides show you guys holograms as I wait for the hologram chocolate. Or I could just show you again how the diffraction grating is. Let's look at the diffraction grating again. So this is a, so this grating is what's considered a transmission hologram. It could also be a reflective hologram. If you shine light onto it, it will also reflect that same starburst pattern. So if this was foiled back, if this was back like a foil, this would also be a reflection hologram. And so this diffraction grating is basically the key element to making your holographic chocolate. What we're doing now, again, for anybody tuning in or for anybody that's been tuned in this whole time, what we did was melted chocolate onto the stove. We put the chocolate onto a plate with wax paper on it, and then we put this diffraction grating film on top of the chocolate. And basically what it did is it's going to leave an impression on the chocolate, and when you peel the film up, the impression will stay. Very much like if you took a piece of Play-Doh and you have a mold and you put it inside, when you peel, okay, when you peel it off, you can peel it off and the impression will stay after the mold is released. So what we're doing is we're doing like a pattern, a physical molding of the chocolate, and the way that the chocolate gets that rainbow pattern to it is because what we're using is a rainbow diffraction grating in order to create that pattern in the first place. A diffraction grating is something that you could actually make yourself, handmade, not to this resolution, but you could actually do something like if you take, I believe, India ink and you spread it on a piece of acetate, and you take a razor blade and you make a bunch of parallel line cuts that are thin enough and close enough together, you could actually hold it in front of the light and get a rainbow effect to it, and that is considered a type of grating, although it's not as good as this, and it would never make an impression on chocolate anyway because it's not a physical manufactured type of thing. This is something also, if you have, if you ever saw a laser show, or like you went to a club and they were giving out glasses that like colors like, you know, kind of starburst out like this, the glasses material that you would be looking for would be made out of a diffraction grating. They're sold as like rave party glasses, although I can't imagine going to a rave party and looking at light that is always going to be like that. And this is contingent, by the way, depending on how close or as far away as the light is. You see how the pattern really is dependent on how close the light is? This will be something that when you look at your chocolate afterwards, you'll be able to see patterns like that, kind of based on if you take an LED light and you put it close to the chocolate afterwards, after you make it, or if you go into sunlight, you'll need a direct, very you will need a direct clear light to see the chocolate with. You might not be able to see it with normal light in your house. So hold on, let's go check on this right now because I am getting bored also. So hold on. Please be good. Please be something at least. That's the thing with holograms. When you make holograms, sometimes you're just like, please just have the hologram on it. So let's see. I'm gonna see if this is going to. Now that when you're using, you can reuse this, so make sure to set it aside. Don't throw it away. Oops, I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay, I don't know if that one, I have to get an LED light, guys. Oh, here's a light. I'm so steely. Okay, let's see if this actually has a pattern on it. All right, that one, I believe I might have used the smooth side. As you see, there's no rainbow pattern on that. I might have used the wrong side of the grating on that one, which is kind of embarrassing, but what can I do? Now then, I'm just peeling this off, just like this, and you know, it's a little stiff, but, oh, there we go, thank God. Okay, so this one, you could see there's nothing there. I used the wrong side of the grating on that one. This one, there you go. There's that rainbow fringe pattern. And so you could see if you made a mistake, if your chocolate doesn't have the rainbow pattern on it after you use it, you probably just used the wrong side of your diffraction grating, just like I did. So don't worry about it. Don't, like, you know, and by the way, if you mess up, you can just melt it all over again. It's not a problem. And you could reuse the grating, and you could reuse the chocolate. Now then, this is 100% safe to eat. If you are using anything else but a mechanical manufactured grating, then I would suggest never ever even use chocolate on it. But you could see right here very, very well that this rainbow effect is absolutely 100% present in the chocolate. When I move the light around, it catches the light very nicely. And that is basically it. So you're basically just melting chocolate, pouring the chocolate on a piece of wax paper, whatever plate you're using, taking your diffraction grating, patting it down onto your chocolate, and then popping it in the refrigerator for, what was this, like 10 minutes or something like that? Or maybe 15 minutes, I don't know. I'm very bad with time. But as you can see, there's your rainbow diffraction pattern. And right now, you just made holographic chocolate in like 10, 15 minutes, and that's really cool. So that's it, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you guys need any help getting diffraction grating, my website, PARALLAX-SHIFT.com, that's spelled PARALLAX-SHIFT, SHIFT.com. I'm going to probably be selling a lot more diffraction grating in my store because of this. And I hope you guys have a holographic and sweet National 3D Day, which is coming up on Tuesday. And thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and have a great day. Bye.